This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
A crisp, cold morning in Djuma and some very warm lions contrasting beautifully against the road through the eyes of the, wait for it, FLIR thermal camera. What a spectacular way to start off a morning, and of course makes getting up at 2:45 that much more worthwhile. And I count a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I think. I think there is a very good chance that we're looking at the Nkuhumas, but if you can identify them through Technicolor, well, in that case you deserve a medal, because it is particularly difficult to do in the darkness, and it is even more difficult when there are several sort of spots of warmth. Nice cold noses, you can see where all the heat exchange takes place, warm bellies, and on this chilly morning I almost wish I was cuddled up with them, because here in Djuma in midsummer it is 16 degrees centigrade, which is of course 61 in Fahrenheit. Well, not of course. So there you go, we're now in infrared because the days are getting shorter here on Djuma. We're still getting light very early in the morning, but it is now off the start of drive a little bit dark. My name is Jamie, and this morning Darby is on camera with me, and what a nice surprise we have found ourselves with live from Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. Whew, the western fringes of the Kruger National Park, if you will. If you would like to send through your questions, you may do so on hashtag SafariLive on Twitter or on the comments section of YouTube. This is early morning yoga, a healthy and holistic lifestyle practiced by all lions. There's 7, by the way. I can't count. It is involved in part of the early morning hygiene ritual, at which point everybody does their stretches, their yawns, and of course their loves. Lots and lots of loves this morning. Pretty typical lion behavior. They like to sleep up until around about 4 or so, 4 or 5 in the morning. So they were probably active up until about, if we've learned anything from following lions all night, probably till about 11, 12 last night, and then they sleep for about 4 hours. Getting right up in between their toes. I'm not the only one with lions this morning. Can you believe it? A kitty cat filled morning. Isaac is in the Masai Mara. He's also found some for you.
Well, these are the Olololos, and very close to the road. Very early in the morning, you can tell they're very cold. Well, a very good morning to you, hoping that you've had a good night's sleep. My name is Isaac, and on camera is Bungay. It's still a dark morning, and our first animal of the day, it is the lion. Over here, the temperatures are about 16 degrees Celsius and about 61 Fahrenheit, so it's a bit chilly, and that's why these lions are all curled up together trying to get each other warm. These are the Olololo prides, and I don't know how many they are. Lions are a bit interesting to me because over here they are portraying a very interesting behavior where they're trying to keep each other warm. And when it's very hot, they usually try and be very far away from each other, trying to get rid of the heat. These guys ate a fully grown buffalo about 3 days ago, and so they're not desperate to eat. It's a matter of digesting. And over here, it's showing true lion behavior. Lions are one of the only few animals that portray this behavior, where they socialize quite a lot. That's why it's called a pride. I don't know what they're going to be doing in the next coming hours, but my aim today is to head down towards where one of their Pride members has got 3 cubs that we haven't seen in quite a few good number, and see if I can find them for you. And then after that, we're going to go towards the river, see if we can find more different kind of animals and maybe a few birds for the bird lovers. I hope you're all ready and set up for this morning live broadcast, and we'll be having fun time with you. Meanwhile, as I head down the road, I'll send you back all the way to Duma, where Jamie has got some very beautiful lying lions.
Some very warm lions, and in fact 2 extra lions that I didn't see, which is of course why it is so helpful to have the FLIR with us, although admittedly I did spot that one before the thermal camera did. So we're having a jolly good groom over there behind some bushes, and then one of the young males has got up to join the larger group across and to the left of us. So there's 9 that I can count. There could be more quite easily. There they are, all together. Absolutely wonderful. I have no idea how many actually is in this group. I'm pretty certain at this point that it is the Nkuhumas of Pride this large. We should, if we had all the numbers together, we should have 11 in total of the Nkuhumas plus the Mangeni male. I'm not sure if we've got the whole pride. Now, Child of the Universe would like to know how well lions tolerate cold temperatures. Relatively well. I mean, it is all relative. They are animals that most of the time are distributed in areas that are what we would consider quite temperate or quite warm. So in the Masai Mara, obviously it's on average a lot colder than it is here. Hello, big girl. No, don't go that way. That's the boundary. Sit down. Don't go that way. Oh no, you're all following. Bad kitty cats. This is the northern boundary of Djuma. I will be very depressed if they decide to go that way. My head is in the way. There's lions there. Marvellous. Now, you don't really get any lions in seriously cold climates. When you do, you see photos of lions in zoos where it is cold, and you can see they're that much fluffier. Their manes, if they're males, are that much larger. Why are we all eating the grass right here? What is so attractive about that grass? Is it yummy? Shame, they're really, really hungry. But once upon a time, yes, lions would have tolerated much colder climates because, of course, they had a much wider distribution range. Hey, girl. Is that nice? See, I told you. It's a holistic morning. Yoga. One of those revolting green shakes that people drink in the mornings. Can't remember where I was, but someone drank one every morning and said it made her feel amazing, but also I tasted it and it was revolting, and she was probably lying to herself. Now many of you wondering about the full moon, of course, which was yesterday. Well, actually it was last night. You want to know if it affects the animals in any way. Yes, it does. We were actually talking about this when we drove past the impala, the poor things, because when it is a really dark night, when it's very cloudy, when there's no full moon, the cats, of course, are at their most efficient, and they can really utilize the panic of the darkness. But during full moon, things like wild dogs go wandering about, as do cheetah. So the diurnal predators are much more likely to go wandering around as well. But the cats are less likely to be successful when it comes to hunting. So it's a sort of a flip thing. It makes sense. The diurnal animals can move. No, don't you all get up and go this way. Buffelshoek Dam is just right. Can you not just go south, please? Please, it's been so long since I've seen you. I'm quite devastated if they get up and ditch us now. So I suspect that they've had a pretty tough time of things, judging by their completely empty stomachs. They need to go and find themselves some buffalo. I haven't seen the Nkuhumas hunt buffalo in a long time. Paula says that, Paula, also known as Pola, yesterday, says that the full moon makes everybody crazy. I don't know, I feel pretty sane at the moment, but then I guess my base level is not particularly normal, so I feel all right. But lots of people say that they find themselves affected by the full moon. I do as well, but I think it's generally a state of enjoyment because it means that my dark evenings are... Thanks, Evs. I'm glad I enjoy the evenings where I can actually see in the bush without having to use lights of any description. So I quite like it in that sense. I don't know that it affects my mood, but I'm probably not the best person to judge that, am I? You'd have to ask my colleagues whether or not they've noticed a complete change. And, you know, to be honest, I'm not sure I could judge the rest of the Wild Earth team either based on the full moon because they're all nuts anyway. So, you know, difficult. There's degrees of insanity. Particularly during a TV show. Niconico viewer wants to know why the lions are eating grass. Is it because they're sick or is it because they are hungry? What I've found is that when lions are very hungry, I think that it actually does make them feel a little bit ill and a little bit uncomfortable. So you'll find that, yes, when they've eaten something that disagrees with them, they'll eat a lot of grass. It helps them to bring up whatever it is and get it out of their system. That's amberized, by the way. But then also when they're hungry, I think it just helps to, when they've got a build-up of stomach acid. Because I've noticed very hungry animals usually do that. Hey, Amber. I haven't seen you properly in ages. Oh, big shake. When are you going to have some babies, girl? We're all thinking this is going to be your year. Yes, good girl. Good girl. There's a good girl. Back towards Buffelshoek Dam. Oh, you wonderful, wonderful kitty cat. Yes, you can lie down there. That's okay. That is acceptable. Cool. We'll get a proper head count once they start to get up and moving. I think that they're going to, because it is quite cold this morning. I think they're probably going to sunbathe for a bit. Now, Jonathan wants to know if there's any other prides wandering around Djuma. Jonathan, sticks were a little bit further to the south of us, so they haven't been up onto Djuma in a very, very long time. I remember the days when the sticks used to come right up to quarantine clearings, but they haven't done that in a good few years. Then there's Talamati males up further to the north of us. They're in Buffelshoek. Apparently one of the evokers is mating with one of the Talamati females as of yesterday. And then the Torchwood Pride, which is often seen right sort of in the southeastern corner of Torchwood and around Nkoro, that area. They spend a lot of time in Kruger. So in terms of pride numbers, there's the most sort of, the largest pride now in this area is in fact the Nkurumas. Can you believe it? Okay, cool. David says now that it is light enough, we are going to switch to colour because it is light enough. But while we do that, while we make that change, Tristan is out and about. He hasn't even had a chance to say good morning to you all. So if you pop across to him and find out what his plans are.
Indeed, you are with us. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jigga. The cold start to Jigga this morning after doing a bit of droning. Seb and I are both feeling a little on the frigid side of life, but it is a beautiful, beautiful morning. There's some beautiful colors that have been kind of coming up as the sun is slowly starting to rise in the east. And so hopefully it'll be a productive morning. At least there's no wind, which is, while it could be freezing and feels like winter, the lack of wind is going to help us to hopefully not find some animals. Now, basically what we're doing is there's lots of options this morning in terms of checking for what's or for animals that we like to see. And so Hosana was found yesterday just as the show finished. So for those of you that are watching Safari Live, Steve found him about 2 minutes after the show wrapped. And we also found some wild dogs on quarantine that ran past Inga's. And I'm down now in a place where Shadulu was seen coming over last night. So she crossed onto Juma last night. And so I'm just trying to see if I can pick up any tracks for her and just see if maybe, just maybe, we get lucky and she's still somewhere on the property. So if we have no luck with Shadulu's tracks or her kind of still around, if they go out, then we're going to go and try and see if we can find Hosanna. Now, James, any idea which pack? No, unfortunately, we were sitting at Inga's and just saw 4 of them come past. So I don't really know. I suspect it must be the Investec breakaways, is what my gut feel tells me. But it was difficult. They were kind of running in between some Ellies, and so it was tough to really make out exactly who was in. So I don't actually know how many. I wasn't in a vehicle. We just kind of where we stay, but amazing though to kind of. It was funny. We were sitting there, and all these impalas came running past, and immediately said kind of dogs, and then obviously they then appeared. Right. Oh, didn't catch. It was just repeat for me. I should do these tracks anywhere though. Right, so apparently I'm going to send you off now. This is their message that I've been sent. This is all. Well, he's had an easy start his morning, much like Jamie.
Yes, I have left the Olololos because they are not doing much. And I have decided to come see if I can find that female, but also she's not home. We know that for sure. Her cubs are there. But with this chilly weather, I'm sure they're curled in somewhere in the gully and we can't see them. So I'm going to proceed on with my plan and see if I can find you some more stuff. Maybe other bigger animals, elephants, buffaloes, hippos, zebras maybe, hippos, you never know. I'm in search of them. I'm going towards the river. Remember, I'm using my spotlight to try and find them, so that's why maybe it's making it hard. It's gonna be light in another maybe 20 minutes. The camera is powerful enough and we're using infrared to give you the pictures that we gave you earlier. So when it's light, I might be able to see more. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing a beautiful sunrise. We haven't seen one in a few days. You can hear the birds are waking up. The grass is quite high if you look in front of the vehicle. It's getting very high. It's going to make it very difficult in the next coming weeks for us to find anything here. You'll have to be able to see it before coming here, but it's very easy to drive past a lion all that easy without seeing it. It's almost 3 feet long now. It gets to around 4. But this is the dynamics and fun of being here. Any girl you'd love to see crown cranes? Well, you never know, and I'm hoping to show you some. We do have them in the Mara, and at the swamp, there is a possibility you might see. So make yourself comfortable. Let's get you there and let's have a look. If not, I'm sure there is something even better. This is the beauty of being in the Mara. For me, I must say, it might look like it's empty or it's very difficult, to find anything, but I tell you, they are here, and knowing that it can be like this, and being able to stay here where it's like this, makes me proud of being here, because I know how it can change, how hard it is. Some people just come during the migration and go. Yes, well, no, that's the beauty of being here. Well, somebody else is loving where she is. And I'm going to send you down all the way to Juma, where somebody else is having some fun and loving what she does.
am loving where I am. I'm absolutely loving it. It doesn't get better as a way to start one's morning than with the young and Kahuma male and the rest of the pride. Oh, bless you. Bless you. You done? I know the feeling. It's the cold. Makes you sneeze. Done. Now, some of these lions actually look as though they are more full than the others. And that one lioness that's standing there eating grass looks a little bit saggy round the middle. I'm not sure if I'm imagining it or if it's just a trick of the low light. But she does look as though she's better fed than some of the other individuals that got up and moved around. It's quite hard to tell, actually, from this perspective. We'll wait and see. There's a lot of grooming going on, a lot of yawning, sort of standard signs of lions that are eventually going to get up. They're sort of psyching themselves up into it, as everyone has to do first thing in the morning. I'm just hoping that they decide to go to Buffelshoek Dam. There's the Mangeni male. He's starting to grow his mane now. You can just see the little tufts there around his cheek and around his shoulders. Looking good, boy. Carol, I'm sorry, I missed half of your question there. I heard pregnant lioness, but I missed exactly what you were asking, I'm afraid. I think it was probably something to do with... Exactly, there we go. So Carol wants to know when we'll see evidence of a pregnant lioness. I would say it's very difficult to see pregnancy in lions or any of the cats until they get to the quite late stages of the pregnancy. So the last month or even the last 2 weeks, you'll start to really see signs of pregnancy, which means, if my guess is correct, and of course it could be entirely incorrect, that we'll be seeing signs in the next 2 to 3 months. I think most likely the most recent matings, there's a good chance that they're going to be successful. But it really is a guess. It's speculation. I think that the evokers have been established long enough that the subsequent encounters are going to result in tiny little evoker and Kahuma mixes, which is something to look forward to indeed. We spoke about it on yesterday's Safari Lives, the fact that there's lion cubs everywhere in the Masai Mara at the moment, and we are left bereft. Navokers, says Emma. I think that sounds a little bit like a skin cream. Do you want some of my Navoka? It gives you a really nice glow. Nkuhukas. Avakuma. Sounds like an exotic fruit. No, ladies. No. We're going right. No, that's left. That's left. Okay, alrighty then. Maybe this patch of grass is really tasty. Clearly, I guess that must be the case. Whew. Cannot believe how chilly it is for this time of year. Oh, everybody's sneezing. Good morning. Somebody's having a jolly good claw stretch. Cecilia, I'm not sure when this pride last ate. I have only seen them with actually quite empty bellies. So, to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm pretty certain that they've eaten something from when I last saw them, which was... I have no idea which day it was. 4 days ago, 5 days ago, maybe even 6 days ago. Time means nothing here. I would say they've eaten something. They've eaten some sort of meal, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was probably something quite small, looking at the state of their bellies. So they are eating. We haven't seen them eating. What are you doing? I wonder if there was one lioness who told them all to go on a health kick. This lioness is going to phlegm and grimace starve. This one in front of us. She's been doing it while we've been talking. There we go. Beautiful. Look at those teeth. Hey, old girl. Lion smile. That was lovely. You gonna do it again? And they get that bright, curious look. And they look so much younger. Oh, we've got someone else coming to go in and have a sniff. Are you gonna flim and grimace for us too? Are you gonna flim and grimace behind the tree? Yeah, you are. Because Cole's law. No, guys. Don't do this. I promise you that it's nicer here. It really is. It's much nicer over this side. It's really... Don't go there. This way. This way. That's not working, Dave. He's steadily all moving. I wonder what scent marked in that bush. Something did. Something's attracted their attention there. I suspect maybe a leopard. Could be, quite easily. There's something that they're smelling around there that is highly, highly intriguing. More's the pity, because it puts them in the wrong line. I was actually talking about something else entirely, and now I cannot remember what it was. Okay, so while I try and remember what it was I was trying to say, and while we speculate further on the presence of potential Nkahuma cubs, Isaac is on his way to search for some actual cubs.
Oh, I'm still here, driving around. We call it bundu bashing. Bashing all around. There's nothing so far. Nothing, zero, nada. But it is beautiful. If we don't find anything, I think we'll give you a very good sunrise. If it doesn't get cloudy, it looks very promising if I look to the east. I'm gonna get out of this place in the next maybe 15 minutes. Driving with one hand on a spotlight in the other is not all that good, but it's a technique that you have to master. The balloons are up, so they're hoping for a good sunrise. You'll be seeing them shortly. There was just a very minimal rain yesterday, so it looks like it was localized rain, and yeah, thank you very much for all your encouragement. We will find something. I'm sure there is something. Oops. Sorry, it's still a little bit wet from the previous day's rain. Hi, Hearts. You asked, if there are cheetahs in the Mara? Yes, they're there. But with this long grass makes it hard to see them, but we do have cheetahs, yes. Yes, are there caracals in the Mara? Yes, we do have caracals. I have seen some before. Very rare, but we do have them. Hopefully, if you stick enough with us, not today maybe, but in some days, you will see, we'll show you caracal. They're here. But it's a very secretive, small, beautiful cat. And so it makes it very hard to find it. And also this grass doesn't help much. As you can see, it's quite tall. So an animal that is only almost a foot and a half tall, and this grass is 3 feet, doesn't do much justice. But yes, we do have caracals. They are beautiful little cats. It's one of those rare ones we find. When we find them, the guides usually jump off their seat, in excitement. I think I have seen a handful myself in my days here, but one day I did see a very beautiful sight of them where I saw a female and 2 cubs, and It was beautiful. Snazzy, that is part of the package. There are a few things that I have to check apart from my instruments working. Quito, my favorite Land Rover. Bungay is another check that I have to take. And then tea is a must. And a few biscuits. Yes, I do have my tea. Thank you for asking. I hope you're having yours, because mine, I'll be having it around 7:30 or when I get somewhere comfortable. Okay, I think I'll do away with the spotlight now. Ha! Final Controls tells me that they have theirs. Well, please enjoy it because, you know, it's a beautiful morning. Now I've stopped using my spotlight. I can see, but I'm still using my headlights. We're infrared. Nothing much so far, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. This area here is where this is the area where we look for rhinos, and this is where I saw the jackals. While I continue scouting this area, I'll send you to Jamie. I understand she's got some tea, or maybe if she doesn't, she better find some tea.
I don't. Thank you for rubbing it in, Isaac. I don't have my tea at all. And not only that, my lions are going into Buffelshoek, which is basically the end of the world. I'm so upset. There they go, abandoning us one by one. And as for that pre-flight checklist, yes, absolutely. I was just saying to Dave, I wish I had a cup of hot tea. Although it does play havoc with one's desperate needs. You know, it sort of runs through one. And then you have to find a bush somewhere, which is not ideal when you're next to lions. But fortunately, they've left us. And as for checking that you've got your cameraman, well, that's also pretty essential. Because on one very embarrassing occasion, I did actually forget Dave. I know, Darby, I'm sorry. I'm still sorry. Oh, beautiful. Look how beautiful you are, little boy. I'll tell you the story of how I forgot Darby in a bit. We'll get back to that. Oh, there's our boy. Getting there. Slowly but surely. It's going to take him time, but he's going to be absolutely stunning when he recovers. And he is going to recover. Well, bye then. No, David, I haven't seen the second Mangeni male in quite a while. Quite an extended period of time, actually, since I saw the second Mangeni male. Apparently the third is with the Southern Pride, so quite a lot, as you might have guessed, further south. And complete opposite to our lions who are going north. After I asked them so nicely, you know, you can't find good help. Why are you all looking off down there and then leaving? Please don't. Please, please don't. Come on. It's all down to you. It's all down to you. You've got to encourage... Oh, okay, never mind. Yep, no. That ain't gonna happen. Wait for me, guys. Well, it's a lovely while it lasted. Thank goodness we were out earlier. We wouldn't have seen them. Because I would only just be getting here now. Bye, traitors. And my stomach just rumbled. I don't even know if you could hear that. It was a proper stomach rumble. Furiously informing me that it did not appreciate the chop that I ate last night. Emma thought they were dinosaur noises. Yes, let's go with that. It was just my tapeworm letting me know that it's hungry again, which it does roughly every 2 hours. I don't actually have tapeworms, just to clarify. Well, that was fun. Would you like to hear the story of how I forgot Dave? Because it's a good one. So, obviously with the time shifts, sometimes when we leave it's very dark. I'm going to stick around a little bit. So let me just wait and see if they decide to chase something back south. It's really clutching at straws though. Anyway, it was dark when we left camp, and we have a presenter light which sits below the camera, and when it's on, shines brightly with the dazzling effect of 1,000 suns. There you go. There we go. That's it over there. So in the dark, when you look back, you actually can't see anything because it's just light glaring in your eyes. So I stopped the car and we got everything ready, and Dave was there. He was talking to me. And then I didn't realize that Dave got off the car. I couldn't see him. So off I drove along down quarantine clearings, chattering away to Dave and thinking, goodness, he's taciturn this morning. This isn't like Dave. How very rude. I'm so very upset with him. And then the next thing I hear through the radio, Dave's voice, Jamie, could you come back and get me, please? Embarrassing. Brent did it to Chandra once. I still see lions. Really clutching at straws here. How's that, Dave? Good though. Brent made it all the way down Gallagher shortcut once without Chandra. And then we heard him burst out laughing. It was hilarious. So yes, you do have to make sure that in your pre-flight checklist that you do in fact have your cameraman, an essential part of our everyday safaris. I mean, we could try and do it ourselves, but selfie mode, yeah. Just get us a selfie stick. In fact, we don't need you guys at all. What do? You really don't want me filming anything. I did a lot of filming with the trainees in the beginning to practice, and it was not ideal. Another Franklin alarm calling at Buffelshoek Dam. Listen, Lions, are you going to come back this way? You're really not, are you? Emma says there were very creative zooms. Absolutely, it was extraordinarily artistic. Blurry safaris, searching for focus. One woman's journey into the art of cameraing, also known as filming. I think they've heard something in this drainage line, and that's why I'm still sitting here with a view of half a lion head. I know, so many book titles, so little time. We've got plenty of them. We've already been over the children's books, Hosanna and Friends. I can't remember the other ones now. The Adventures of Hosanna. Yes, Hosanna the Curious Cat. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it as Macavity, but it's there. I remember we did an entire soundtrack to the Mara, which I suppose would have worked as a book as well. What was it? Mud in my eye. What was it? Dust in my eye, mud on my sleeve, and a car in my shot. Something like that. Bye, lions. Whatever. I'm going to Buffelshoek Dam, and it's much cooler there. Just saying. Okay, let's go see what's at Buffelshoek Dam. Wait, oh, I'm sorry, Emma. Isaac's in the Mara. Let's go across to him.
Here we are, still driving around, hoping to find something. Now it's better driving on this rather modern piece of truck. This is the one that takes me from the Marsh to Sanguriai, a small creek with the only bridge that takes you across to the other side. And from there, I'm gonna turn left and go towards Maji and Ege, where you might see different stuff because the grass is shorter there and Antelopes love that because they avoid the long grass because of predation. Here, this area, we have the marsh pride, that the Quechua males. Quechua males are the two males Megan, you asked me if lions and cheetahs fight. A fight would be a bit of a word that I don't know how to explain, but cheetahs will try and avoid fights with the lions, because if they're in a fight with the lions, they'll definitely gonna die. Lions will kill them. So they'll never fight. They'll kill each other. And killing each other in predators, it's quite normal, because they think that there is not enough for one another. They want to dominate everything for themselves, and the best thing to do is to eliminate one another. I don't know if you notice this in the camera, but it's a bit hazy or foggy in front of me here, and the temperature has dropped a little bit here. It's much cooler, it's a swamp. Yeah, so they don't fight, they kill each other. Yes, I was telling you about the Quechua males. These two Quechua males, we saw them on a kill 2 days ago when the Olololo Pride killed the big buffalo. They were present. They also dominate the Marsh Pride, which hangs around here. So it's a clear collision of two males that moves in between two prides. And this is their area. So who knows, we might get to see them also. It's not the only animal I'm looking for. There is a lot of beautiful animals to see in the Masai Mara. And this area where also, you know, we can find giraffes, we can find rhino. Apart from that, it is still very beautiful to be here. And I'm so fortunate, you know, to be driving here where the smell is so fresh, so beautiful. Everything is just coming to life. I don't know if the sunrise is coming, but let me... Joanne, you asked me, have I ever had a cat jump into the vehicle? Yes. In my profile, when I apply for work here at SafariLive, there is a picture of a cheetah on the bonnet looking at me. I've had a cheetah called Amani. She's deceased now. It's been a while. She jumped onto the bonnet. It was in the heat of the day. She sat here and started chewing on my cup. So yes, I've had a lion jump on my car. It might sound like it was dangerous or very dangerous, but the way she approached me, it was in the heat of the day. There was no tree around. The only source of shade was the canopy of my Land Rover. And she went around the vehicle, and for some reason, I think we bonded. She jumped in front here. She looked at me. She did gnarl a little bit, but then I told her, you know, I'm in no trouble. Then she walked slowly. She sat here, you know, stretched her neck towards me, and then, you know, I was, you know, stretched backwards. And then, you know, she sat there and started looking around, and I knew she had relaxed. And so I relaxed also. And there are pictures to prove that. Remind me in the future. Maybe I'll have the picture and I'll show it to you. It was rather a heart-pounding moment in the beginning. Remember to join in this beautiful morning's drive. Ask us as many questions as possible, because this is live. And you're on SafariLive. I don't see much here, so I'm gonna try and speed up a little bit. It's not my wish, because the temperature is gonna drop when I speed up, but I have nothing to do here, so let me try and get out of here. Very empty. They all stayed in. I don't know what's that. Sorry. Oh, some vultures, some hornbills. Oh. Look at that. Yeah, while I try and figure out how I'm gonna see these guys, I'm gonna send you to Jamie, who's having a sunrise in Duma.
Well, it's safe to say that the Akubas probably aren't coming back in this direction, because this is where they came from, Buffelshoek Dam. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than lion tracks absolutely everywhere, up, down, round and round. Well, I didn't pick the best spot for you, Dave, did I? Well, it's not too bad. I mean, this whole side is lion track. Going the other way to where we just found the Nkumas, but that's just because they were pacing up and down here. Pacing, having a quick snooze. Okay. Oh, this is where they spent the night. You know, it's quite sad is this morning during our drone tests, the drone actually did come over Buffelshoek Dam, and they'd obviously just departed. True to form. Oh, hello. Clutch, would you like to change gear? There we go. It's not going to be a problem at all. Wendy's about to get checked into the doctor. Wendy's the car, of course, if you don't know who Wendy is. Wendy's the car. She's got an appointment with the car doctor. She has no exhaust, and she is slowly but surely rejecting the driver's instructions when it comes to gear changes. Now I'm going to go to where am I going to go? I don't know. There were dogs calling. We searched with a drone. We didn't find them. Here's I don't know where to go. Cheetah Cut Line. We're going Cheetah Cut Line. We might get lucky with the dogs. We might get lucky with Tandi. We might get lucky with Tingana. That's where we're going to go. I was a little bit indecisive, but I think I've made up my mind. Yesterday, on the Sunset Safari, which wasn't Sunset Safari, it was the SafariLives. Okay, wait, I'll tell you about SafariLives in a moment. First, just because we were looking at those line tracks in the road, Snazzy wants to know if the sand is naturally deep on the road or if we actually pour sand onto it to make it so. It depends on the area that the road is in. So in some places, roads are cleared and basically just left to become roads by repeated driving on them. And you don't really need sand, like where we are now is nice. It's quite nice and hard. But yes, sand is put on roads, or soil is put on roads. We've shown you those borrow pits before. They're known as Murrum pits in the Mara. Basically areas where they've been artificially dug out to... Oh, I'm in low range. This is why we're so jerky. Where they've been artificially dug out and then the sand is dumped around here, particularly when there's heavy rain and the roads become uneven and bumpy and there's deep grooves in them. Then they will be packed with soil just to make the driving experience, particularly for guests, a little bit more comfortable. I'm sure the cameramen appreciate it as well, especially at high speed. So yes, absolutely, the roads are maintained in that way. It also, of course, as a tangential, you know what I mean, effect, makes tracking a little bit easier. Oh, very nice. I assume that, well, Emma's wanting us to send you across to Isaac in the Mara. He has jackals, and of course everyone knows what lovely animals they are.
Yes, another find here, another beautiful find. Silver-backed jackal. And this looks like a pair. Looks like they've been busy looking for different scraps. The smelling of the ground like that might seem like they're smelling for nothing, but it could be they're detecting a beetle underground, or maybe another fellow jackal passed by here and they're trying to identify who it is. These are our smallest, or some of our smallest predators. They do scavenge at the same time. They're very efficient hunters. It's always lovely and beautiful to see them. You see, in comparison with the size of their heads, look at the ears, you see how huge they are. Those help them and compensate the size, for hearing. They have very good sense of hearing, smelling, and sight. And over here, they love it in the road because there's less stress. It's nice and dry. They don't get wet. That is their common gait. They're always trotting. Yeah, see those ears, every time they turn for me, it tells me they might be hearing something or smelling. And this looks like an area with lots of stuff for them. Look at that. They're hoping, they're just wishing, oh, I wish I could eat you. This is the yellow-throated longclaw, our first bird of the day. Very curled up. You see, the jackal, if it had a chance, it would eat that bird. But it knows it is a waste of time to try and go for it because it's very open. It won't have a chance. Definitely these guys are on the lookout for something to feed on, and that's why they're very, very busy. It is just about sunrise now, and Linda, yes, so cute, very cute, and it's always nice to see them very early in the morning. Yes, it's about sunrise now, so it's official, it's daylight. And you can see the beautiful sunrise in the Mara. Always wonderful to see these beautiful sunrises here. Beautiful clouds. Looks like it's going to be a nice warm morning. Cool breeze, you ask. Do jackals only eat meat? Yes. Meat in different ways. It could be a grasshopper, a lizard, a snake, a bird, leftovers from a wildebeest, a buffalo, an elephant. Yes, they eat meat only. Look at that. Beautiful. Well, it's getting more beautiful. I'm going to follow these guys. They are down the road. Yvette, you say it's beautiful? I'll say it's awesome. Beautiful, awesome. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm going to follow the jackals now. That is the big machine that goes to collect the balloon basket. And they are following the basket, the balloon, which is a long ways down towards the Tanzanian border. Sorry about that, but it's still beautiful. Look at that. I say awesome, you say beautiful. I don't know what somebody else says. In Kiswahili, I would say it is maridadi. Maridadi. Okay, let me proceed on. Stick to my mission. Go towards Majiandege and see what we can find. I haven't seen all those many elephants we've been seeing in the last few weeks. Or maybe I haven't reached to where they're supposed to be. Let me get further down and see. Oh, our jackals are still there. Looks like they were very smart. They moved off the road. The tractor went by, and now they're back on the road. You'll be seeing them shortly. They'll come to view. Hello, it's me again. I didn't get your name really well, but the largest animal a jackal will get, I have seen them get a fully grown Thompson's gazelle. Sorry, Firefly, you ask, what is the largest animal a jackal will bring down? I have seen them bring down a fully grown Thompson's gazelle, which weighs about 12 kilos. There were two of them, and they came in from different angles, one from behind, one from front. they really tired the Thompson gazelle. They confused it, and then they killed it very ruthlessly because they started eating it alive. Yes, the largest animal for me that I have seen and witnessed is a Thompson's gazelle. So they're small but very vicious. And I think when they went for that Thompson's gazelle, they were quite desperate. They hadn't eaten in quite a number of days, and the only thing available for them to go for was that Thompson's gazelle, and that's why they went for it. Otherwise, they would prefer to go for smaller things like young impala fawns, young, Thompson gazelle fawns, birds, and small creepy crawlies. It is so beautiful here. A bit chilly, that's why I'm dressed up like this. But all in all, somebody got to do what they have to do, and that's why I'm doing this. Jamie, yes, I look chilly, yes, but I'm not that bad. I must say I'm okay. I'm used to this. Somebody else is doing the same as me, driving down the road. I'll send it down all the way to Jamie. She's driving somewhere.
I'm driving along Cheetah Cut Line, and I'm basically waiting for the sun to get just that little bit higher. Whoops, hold on. Oh. I got caught out by baboon tracks. That's embarrassing. I thought it was a leopard. I'm basically looking for a nice patch of sun where I can go and sit and bask. Nice shades there, Dov. Very, very fancy. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. And then I'll probably pop back to where the Nkuhumas disappeared a little bit earlier and have a look and see whether or not they've decided to wander back onto Djuma. I have a feeling they're just looking for something to eat. So there is a chance, there's a possibility. But for now, what I've done is I've come onto Cheetah Cut Line because we don't really know where Tundi is. We haven't seen her since she was mating with Tingana. It clearly wasn't a true estrus because it was 1 day's worth of mating, and then she went off her way and he went off his way. So we don't really know where she is. We don't know where Tlalamba is, and I'm hoping that perhaps they've popped out here. And the nice thing about Cheetah Cut Line is that, speaking of the dirt on the road, is that the sand is very soft and fine for most of it, which makes it a lot easier to pick up on tracks, particularly at this time of year where the soil gets quite compacted. So it's a good place to start when you're looking to figure out what movements have gone on during the day. And I know that yesterday Steve said that he had lots of leopard tracks coming around this area, so we'll have a look here. I was telling you about SafariLives, just in case you missed it. When Lauren was finishing off her final tent segment, we were sitting on quarantine filming Impala, and all of a sudden they took off at high speed, very, very high speed, largely thanks to the fact that as we finished at sort of 10 seconds to go, wild dogs went phew past us, and then at exactly the same time they chased a whole load of Impala into Steve, who then found Hosanna at the moment the show ended. So it was one of those exceptionally quiet afternoons, and all of a sudden there was everything as we finished the show. I was very upset. I didn't even I just saw the Impala go racing away. So then I went home, and then I read Steve's message about wild dogs being on quarantine clearings, at which point I choked. I'd just taken a massive sip of water and sprayed it all over the DRC. I did a proper spit take. So cross. Because I knew the impala were running from something, but it was racing back home. Trist, you're very faint. What was that? Negative. The Nkumas have crossed into Buffelshoek at Buffelshoek West Junction, and I'm on Chillicut line at the moment. Cool. That was just... Whoa. I went from Gary Cut line side. It was just Tristan letting me know that he's back up and running. He's had some technical difficulties this morning, so it seems as though he has been repaired. Not Tristan himself, but the technical difficulties. It's full moon. Tristan's beyond help. So he's heading out. He just wanted to make sure that we're not covering the same ground. Good morning, Impala. Have you seen a leopard? Oh. Okay, then. That's interesting. It's a very frightened impala. Let's just go have a look around and see why. Okay, while I investigate the curious case of the nervous impala, which is in fact an oxymoron, let's go across to Isaac, who has found something very large.
Aha! Here we have the big one. And they are eating one of the hardest grasses around. It's named after them, the elephant grass. To humans, I would compare it to eating old leather boots. That's how tough the grass is. And elephant is the only animal can eat this grass, and that's why it's called elephant grass. One of the females looks very elderly. You can tell by her temples. And she is not very far from me, very close. So I'm going to respect her and let her pass nice and slowly. Look at that. Beautiful. This is my first encounter with elephants this morning. And very much like the jackals I saw earlier, they love it on the road, and you can tell, they're walking with a swag. Wow. I wonder what she's thinking, walking down the road like that. He's like, oh, it's nice over here. Why do you have to stay on the long grass all this time? Yes, I think you have to go and eat. Beautiful, look at that. She's got a beautiful tail. Look at that. You normally don't see that. And she's got one white hair in the tail. Mark, you say wrinkle? I'm glad, the elephant doesn't understand English. Otherwise, you'd be in so much trouble. This is the normal look of an elephant's skin. The wrinklier they are, actually, the healthier sometimes they are. When they're young, they're not as wrinkly, but as they age, they get very wrinkly. I was talking about the tail. I don't know if you noticed that that female had one white hair, so it tells you she's one of the old females in the herd. That's a little guy, about maybe 20 months old. Her tail, she doesn't have any hairs. I wonder why. Maybe it's one of those genetic things where, very much like us, they don't, it doesn't grow. We go bald quite early. Quite a few young ones in this breeding herd, and they're loving it on the road. Yeah, looks like they have decided to claim the road. And over here, animals have got the right of the road. Lisa, awesome. Yes, it is very awesome. Yeah. They say that animals have got the right of way here, and you know why? it's because we found them here. So they have the right of way, and that's what they're doing, and they know that, and I'm giving them time to enjoy themselves. It's really awesome. I'm gonna try and roll down a little bit without disturbing them and see how close I can get, but this is just amazing. This is a small breeding herd out. Rebecca, yes, you ask if an elephant can step on its own trunk. I think if it wanted to, it would. But every now and then, maybe it makes a mistake and steps on the trunk. But it's very rare for it just to keep stepping on it. And very much like us, sometimes we trip. They do the same. They trip on the trunk. But it's not that common. Look at that. I think it's older brother and younger brother. The female is still walking with a swag. She is loving the road. This younger brother really wants to play with older brother. Yeah, he really wants to play. You're gonna get a kick or a trip. This is the age when the elephants are very, very playful. And very much like us humans, you know, they portray different behaviors. The cheeky ones, the naughty ones, they start, you know, showing these behaviors at a very early age. This young one looks, you know, seems to be very courageous, trying to encourage the brother to play or fight, but the brother is very reluctant. And you can tell he's just saying, you know, so what do you want? Leave me alone. Now I can't go anywhere. I have to stay here. You can tell the female in front. I'm loving how she's walking, you know, like there's no hurry in Africa. I think this is where the saying came from. Okay, let's roll down a little bit more. They're quite a distance away. You can see that? Yeah. It's quite a distance away. Oh, I didn't notice this guy. It's another old one. Whew. Yeah, she's another old female. I think she's one of the oldest females. So it's a nice, healthy breeding herd. Looks like there's about 6 fully grown females, and the rest are all mixture of half-growns, young ones, you know, and sub-adults. Michelle, yes, the little ones are quite feisty, you know. This is the behavior they do, and actually I don't blame them because they need to develop certain muscles and also develop a hierarchy, so in the later years they avoid conflicts, and this is determined sometimes at a very early age. Well, the older girl has joined the same trend, and she has decided to walk on the road. But I'm going to do the same and drive on the road and see, you know, if I can get past them so we can proceed on. But I'm going to stop, you know, very close to them and observe them a little bit more. By the looks from her backside, looks like she's pregnant. Usually we can tell when she's walking away from me, where the baby lies more to the left and looks like it's slightly swollen to the left. So I would say, you know, she looks like she's pregnant, this one. So she might not have a young one. She might be carrying one. Over here there is a marsh, and there's some few birds where we can stop and observe them. While I try and find somewhere to stop here, I'll send you all the way to South Africa where Jamie has got a beautiful bird. I wonder what it is.
Oh, there are definitely worse roadblocks to have. We found something that I always really enjoy spending time with. It is an African harrier hawk, also known as a gymnogene. It's being mobbed by a babbler. It's found itself into this apple. It's found its way into this apple leaf. Now, for those of you that don't know, perhaps you're new to these safaris, first of all, start a bird list, because we like to show you as many birds as possible. Secondly, this bird's fascinating because it's a bird of prey that is very, very highly specialized. And it specializes in raiding hollows of trees and the nests of birds. So basically it's looking for baby birds, eggs, snakes, baby bush babies, baby squirrels, anything like that that lives in trees. And it's got double jointed legs in order to be able to do so. In other words, what it does, where's it going to go? Oh dear, that's quite far. Let me see if I can get it again, because it is on the hunt. I'll just have to go back quite far because of the sun, but let's see if we can make it work. I don't know where it went. Well, we've had some extraordinary sightings with harrier hawks, and they are obviously, as you can imagine, as birds of prey go, they're probably the least popular out of all of them because they're a potential threat to baby birds. So as a result, they are so often mobbed by other bird species, particularly drongos, but almost anything will have a go. I'm now completely disoriented, trying to navigate that road. I don't spot it either. I think it's given us the slip. Okay, well, hold on. Let's go back a bit more. There's that dead knobthorn that might be an attractive prospect for it. Reverse safaris! Woohoo! Probably be a lot easier for me to do this forwards. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. Paula says the bird has said no to being on camera and that it's obviously camera shy. Okay. Let's get ourselves up a little bit of height. Okay. Let's see if I can hear the birds mobbing it. And we might just get lucky. It's worth it. It's well worth putting in the time and effort to watch these birds because they are always busy. Well, I got nothing, Dave. Oh, have you got him? Oh, I'm not even watching my monitor. Bravo, Dave. How did you do that? A round of applause, everyone. Well done, David. I'm so super impressed. I don't even know where that is in real life. Oh, to the right of the marula tree. Where's he gone now? No, I've lost him. Man, that was impressive. Oh, well, it's worth sitting then. Let's see if we can get him again. Ah, and says it looked like he flew to the right. Oh, there he is. Here he goes. He's going to come towards this dead tree. Yes, sit in the dead tree, sit in the dead tree. Yes, 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 yes. Ah, yes. Nailed it. Told you there was an attractive dead tree here. Beautiful. Followed by a host of various other small bird species. There we go, sticking its bill into a folded piece of bark. Oh! Being mobbed by a violet-backed starling. Starting to get that red flush that they get when they are overly excited, particularly when they're being chased by other birds. Here we go. This one's nice and relatively relaxed with vehicles. Most of them are quite shy. I find it difficult to try and get them on camera because... Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Not a popular bird. Oh, and again. Have you got him there, Dave? You got him. There we go. Well done. Being chased by the starlings. Maybe they've got a nest here. That was the male violet-backed starling, or plum-coloured starling that went for him. Oh, now he's getting cross. Off. Now being joined by what looked like either a Cape Glossier or a greater blue-eared, joining the party. I can't see, the screen's so much glare. Of course, these dead trees with loose bark are attractive places for reptiles, for birds to nest in, for all sorts of things. So it's a very good chance that there is something hiding in the bark of this tree. And it's really just a matter of finding it. And it'll poke about until it spots something. Oh, next branch. Nothing there. Boop! Hit by the starlings, a double-edged attack there. Two members of the same family, united in their hatred of this sneaky predator. He's starting to get all red in the face, getting angry. Ouch! It's definitely like a Game of Thrones episode. They are whacking him. He's clearly, and the more sort of violent they get around this area, the more likely it is to believe that there's something that they're defending. So the more determined it's become. Is there something there? Oh, whacked again. Brushing off the attacks of the smaller birds. Lily wants to know, well, wouldn't he just eat the starlings? The thing is that the larger the bird of prey, the less agile they are. So the little birds have got that advantage. They've got speed and the ability to turn very quickly and to flutter around the harrier hawk's head. And as a result, it actually can't catch them, which is why you often see drongos, starlings, all sorts of birds like that after birds of prey like this. I'm going to try again. This harrier hawk is now convinced that there's something here. He's not going to give up. But it has gone red in the face because it's stressed out by being attacked repeatedly. There you go. See that? Beautiful. Well done, Dave. Awesome camera work. Oh, so cross. And we're gone. Too much trouble. Followed by a host of little birds, all thoroughly indignant. Cool. Awesome. Well, after the high action sighting here in Djuma, off you go to a calming scene in the Masai Mara with Isaac and his elephants.
Here, our first bird of the day. A very beautiful white bird here. It's a heron, and it's the intermediate heron. And he's just been cleaning himself there. I think he feels very happy to be alive and enjoying the morning sun. One very interesting about this bird is got some like very light feathers that are outside the primaries on its back. And I haven't seen it for quite a while, so it's really nice. You see those very few feathers there. It looks like they're about to fall off, but it's typical of the intermediate heron. The one difference between them and the great heron is that the intermediate heron has got a shorter neck. So it is really nice to see this guy here. That sharp bill there is for stabbing fish and frogs in the water. Yes, I'm talking about you. I think he's listening to me. That's really beautiful. It's one of the few birds, we find here at Maji and Ege, and the first one that I've found for you. So I'm hoping to, find you some more. Behind there, the elephants are still around, and they're all in the road, on the side of the road, or around here. Okay, let's move forward. There's, I don't know if you can see, the elephants are still there. Now I have somebody in front of me. I hope he opens the way for me because I didn't want to disturb them. Over there we got the grey heron over there. He's very curled up. You see him? He's over there. The light is, I don't know if we'll be able to show him to you. The African grey heron, all curled up. I'm sure he's hoping to warm up to be able to fly. This is a place not to worry about. There's enough to eat for him. So he's not worried at all. This is typical habitat for these birds. They love where there is those aquatic creatures. And this is a good place for them. So he's also warming up there, hoping for the day to get warm so he can fly. Try to get past these elephants. There's quite a good number of them. Oh, that one is charging the car. Janice, you ask if elephants go into menopause? No, they don't. Elephants have been known to give birth even at 65. And amazingly, if they happen to die and leave the young one, the next lactating female could adopt the young one. And if there's nobody breeding, actually producing milk in the herd, then a female will start producing milk within about 36 to about 72 hours for the little one that has been left. So they don't reach menopause. Hey. Yeah. There's a park warden. I think he's in a hurry. Yeah, they were not very happy. You can tell the little one was seeking like refuge from older cousin. Okay, I'm gonna try and go past also. I don't know how easy it's gonna be after that vehicle going past. It might be a little bit difficult for me, but I'm gonna try. Okay, relax. Okay, I'm not in a hurry. Relax. Okay. Yeah, he's coming to check on me. They're really cute. Yes, I'm scared of you. Very scared. Yeah, he's right in front of the vehicle. I'm sure, I wonder what he's asking himself, I also got the right to stay in the road. Why do you want to chase me out of this road? I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. He's a little guy, about maybe a year old. Not. Yes, I think that's what he thinks he is. But at the same time, he's got second thoughts. This thing is bigger than me. I hope you're enjoying this. I wonder where he wants to go now. Yes, you love the cheeky ones. I love them too. This guy is really playful. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the noises to my right. They are two very close here, and they are not worried, and that's why I'm not worried. If they were, behaving like they're worried, then I would be very worried, but they're not. I wonder what he's going to tell that female there. I think he's going to tell him, that thing, is not moving out of the road. Do you know what it is? Beautiful. Remember, these elephants here in the Mara haven't been disturbed by humans for over... Why is it eating other elephants' food? What happens is that little ones, sometimes they haven't developed bacteria in their tummies or microorganisms that help them in digesting their own food. So they end up eating their mother's droppings. But at the same time, sometimes they cannot be able to pull out stuff out of the ground. So they end up waiting for the older ones to pull it out, and then they steal it off them. You see, this guy is eating it direct because the trunk hasn't fully developed the muscles to pull out the grass. And that's why it wants to eat, but it has to eat directly through the mouth because the trunk is just a toy now. Actually, this is unbelievably close. It's only about maybe 4 meters, 12 feet from me. The reason I'm very comfortable being this close is these elephants in the Mara haven't been disturbed for over 80 years. The Mara was demarcated as a game reserve in 1948, so it's been a very long time. And since then, they've never been disturbed, they've never been chased, and most of the people here, most of the guides really behave themselves when they're very close to these animals, and that's why, they can let us be this close. Other areas, you'll never get this close to young ones with females like this. The females would have been on us long time. Yeah, you can tell really that this guy is trying to use that trunk, but he's not able. See that? I don't know if he's going to be able to pull anything. See, he's trying to wrap the grass. Nothing. He has to eat directly through the mouth. Yeah, he's still developing the muscles. And it looks like a male. Sorry, it's a female. It's a female. It's really nice to see all these little guys everywhere. Yeah. It means the population is quite healthy, and over here we don't have any problems with people going for these beautiful creatures. She's full of milk, if you see her. Yeah, she's got lots and lots of milk. So the young one hasn't drunk maybe this morning. You can tell the teats in between her legs there. They are full of milk. And there's a big tick. Uh-oh, she's right in front of me. This is really beautiful, and I'm very, actually very happy for them to show this kind of behavior where Sarah, you say you love the sounds of them eating. Thank you. It's really quite different and unique. These guys are constantly eating, and the reason? They have very poor digestive system, so they have to compensate their weight with too much eating. Only about 40% of everything they eat is fully utilized, and it takes about 4 days for what they eat to go through their tummies. So you can imagine that tummy, it's a big one. So they have to constantly eating. Over here, the grass is so soft and like so good. I usually say it's like eating pasta or spaghetti. It's easy. And here they don't have to drink. It comes with water. So it's super. It's really nice setting. They're all over me, around me. And I'm gonna leave them now. See if we can find you something else further down. Truly amazing. Okay, while I try and get out of this situation, I'm gonna send you to Tristan and see what he's up to.
Well, yes, I'm glad that Isaac and Jamie were able to hold down the fort for a while. Unfortunately, we had a signal issue that resulted in a bad SDI connection. And of course, when it comes to anything related to tech and connections and things like that, it's Murphy's law that the connector that is faulty will be the last one that you change. So poor Marcel did 4 different ones before we figured out it was the last one that was causing the issue on Jigger. So we sort of that will be the end of that nonsense and everything will be okay. And so we're just getting going really once again. It's kind of thwarted our plans, and it's going to be a bit tricky to see what we can find, but we're going to try nonetheless. We're going to try and see what there is. We're going to go just check on the last position of Hosanna from last night, which was just over here. It wasn't very far at all. In fact, I'm surprised he wasn't seen on the dam cam last night, because he was literally right here. It might have been to do with the fact that the dogs came running past, because the dogs ran down towards this area as well, that he wasn't seen. But we're going to try and kind of have a little look, and maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe something will kind of turn up and be around. It looks like the wild dogs crossed into, and their trucks are all here, crossed up into Buffalo's Hook. So Zane, when are we going to start seeing all the marula fruits? They're starting now. There's a few trees that are dropping at the moment. There's nothing too major just yet. So I just want to quickly check down where he was yesterday in case he's still lying about, which was just to our kind of left here. So there are a few trees that are slowly starting to drop. Some of them are quite heavy and laden, but haven't really started to kind of get the weight yet for the fruit to sort of start to fall. But so he was just down here in this little slipway, which he often likes to sit in, last night. But no luck this morning, so he didn't grab anything by the looks of things. But we're just going to check Twin Dams Road in case his tracks come out on that side. He does like to often follow, well, not follow, but try and kind of scavenge scraps of food, and so wild dogs are the perfect animal for Hosanna to actually follow and try and kind of grab a carcass that they've picked up. If it was a small pack, obviously if it's the pack of 18, he's got no chance, because they'll bully him up into a tree. But Tingana fan, what about Tingana? Has he eaten recently? I'm afraid I have absolutely no idea. We haven't seen Tingana on a carcass. The last time we saw him on a carcass was when, was it Saturday? Was it Sib? Can't remember when he was mating with Tandi. He ate a little bit that day, but I think that's the last time he was, yeah, Friday or Saturday, somewhere there. Yeah, that was the last time he was seen eating. So, you know, difficult to know. If we don't see them every day, it's quite tricky. And exactly, leopards are very naughty at keeping their food diaries up to date and submitting them, and so we're not quite sure if he has eaten. I'm hoping that he's had a good meal in the last few days, same as little Hosanna. But I'm not impressed with Hosanna at the moment. He and I are at loggerheads because I've hardly seen him in the last week. I suppose I haven't really had kind of too many times that I've actually gone looking for him. There's been a lot of other things happening, and with signal on Rusty and driving Rusty, it's meant that, you know, I haven't spent too much time actually trying to kind of find Hosanna, but it's not been very pleasant to not spend so many days without seeing him. I rather prefer kind of hanging around with him most days, so we're going to try to rectify that over the course of the next couple of days and try and see if we can kind of find him once again. But these dogs really did run everywhere. Their tracks are all over the place once again, and like I say, unfortunately they cross north out into Buffels Hook, but maybe they'll come back later as well. So I'm just driving very slowly because this whole Mulwati system, Hosanna does like to spend time in these areas. He often likes to kind of hang around in these little thickets, and so we're going to try and carry on and see if he is around. In the meantime, though, let's send you back across to Isaac, who apparently has finally gotten past his naughty baby elephant with its stick.
Yes, I was wondering what I'm going to show you, but I just found a good stuff. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Yes, how's your morning? Good, good. Just saying hello to some guys, you know, very close to us here. But over here we have a beautiful small family of geese. It is not common to find them, you know, this. And here I think this is a very successful mother. I think it was a pair, and they are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 goslings. Unbelievable. She must have been a very good mother. They're almost adults now. I cannot tell the difference between the adults and the young one, but this is really a beautiful sight. It's one of those rare moments where, you know, really a good mother, you know, makes, you know, all of them, you know, succeed. Oh, that one has got a limp. Yeah, go back there a little bit, Bungay. Zoom in. You can tell. It looks like the leg has got a deformity. Yes, you can tell the way it's walking. So it's one way we identify our characters. And so for me, that is a good way to say, you know, I've seen that guy before. It's the first time, but when I see him next, I'll be able to identify him for you. They're very busy. Here, I would say they're eating grass seeds. You see them how, you know, you see how they bite and then stretch their necks. They are stripping the seeds off the grass stem. And looks like mom and dad are ahead, and they are leading them, you know, towards good grass. You see the one in front is much, much bigger. Carol, that's a really good name. Limpy the Goose. I love it. I love the name, Limpy the Goose. I think, you know, that one might stick. You can tell that the first one, now there's the biggest one actually in the middle there. I think that's one of the adult ones. And the rest are all chicks. They normally nest very, you know, in the water. They build a nest almost floating in water. Gina, have I seen the bat-eared foxes lately? No, I haven't seen. With this weather, it's been chilly. I think they've been staying warm inside their den, so they haven't been coming out. But we do have them. Yes, but I haven't seen them. One of the adults is listening to us. We mean no harm. It's rare to come across these many because the eggs are actually, are under threat from the monitor lizard, which moves around and eats the eggs also. And also, you know, crocodiles will eat them if they swim. While I look for something else, I'll link you back to Jamie. I think she's got something of the same kind, birds.
Voila! It is a Cape turtle dove, which in itself is not terribly thrilling. I promise you it was more exciting than that just a few moments ago. It was actually 2 Cape turtle doves fighting, and they were doing the sort of a head bob thing. Well, they were either fighting or romancing. I'm not 100% sure because it's very difficult to tell the difference between male and female. But I suspect it was more a battle of wills than anything else. But there you go. Aren't you glad you came all the way over here for that? I do have some news. I have two pieces of news. One is that the Nkumas came from the south and they've walked all the way through Djuma in the course of the night. They came across at Twin Dams and they've cut through that way towards Buffelshoek Dam. So that's the route that they followed. Secondly, the Egyptian geese at Twin Dams have babies. There are little goslings knocking about, but unfortunately when we tried to put them on camera, they immediately vanished, never to be seen again. They've disappeared into a deep hole, and no matter what Davy and I did, we could not either get a view of them or get them to come out. But you know, we're going to start getting very confused because we've got the Egyptian geese at Buffelshoek Dam, we've got the Egyptian geese at Treehouse, now at Twin Dams, and all of them are going to be having little ones, and the ones at Chitwa. So I think what we need is we need the begs, the Buffelshoek Dam Egyptian geese, we need the twigs, the Twin Dam Egyptian geese, and we need the tregs, the Treehouse Dam Egyptian geese families. And then we've solved all problems. Everything's sorted. I have no other news. That's basically what I've been thinking about. I've really been thoroughly unoriginal. I have to go this way because there's no signal there. Whee! Very difficult to look for leopard tracks when the lions have walked over everything. So I could easily have missed Hosanna's tracks somewhere on Twin Dams or Tingana's. There was no sign of Tundi. Actually, no sign of leopards at all today. Everything lying low since the wild dogs and the lions have moved through. Now, unfortunately, it seems as though the dogs have crossed out. Paula would like to know what is the most ferocious bird from Paula. Lou in Final Control has said the African grey parrot. I would say the most ferocious bird, crowned lapwings. Anyone who has grown up in South Africa, I've mentioned this before, although it's hard at this point to say anything that I haven't mentioned before. When you grow up in South Africa, you get very accustomed to being dive bombed by crowned lapwings as you walk across open fields. They attack you mercilessly during breeding season to keep you away from their eggs and to keep you away from their chicks. So there's those. They're pretty ferocious. Fork-tailed drongos are certainly, for a bird of their size, are certainly full of attitude. The birds of prey, by and large, are actually quite shy. Shrikes can be really seriously scary if you get them in a corner. What else? Ferocious birds. I really feel as though the crowned lapwing one is a good one. Been dive bombed a few times. Rollers are quite aggressive birds, but not really towards humans. You know what we have out here that are absolutely not welcomed and truly, truly unpleasant is minor birds. Top Nod says that a go-away bird seems pretty rude, given that it tells you to go away. Could be worse. Could be another combination of two words that mean the same thing. At least they're vaguely polite about it, and at least it's family friendly. I've got that in my head going round and round. Fortunately, there's no birds that say that. Hornbills are pretty aggressive. When they see their own reflections, slam their heads repeatedly into glass windows. So there is that. But that doesn't really count as ferocious, I don't think. Maybe towards a competitor. I think that's just more a bit dwarf. Bit dumb. I think I'm going to go with minor birds. Okay. While the search for the leopards continues, I'm sure Tristan has some opinions on the most ferocious birds. Let's go and find out if he's willing to share them.
Jamie, I've just been thinking about that actually. I'm not 100% sure as to which bird I would go for. I suppose Jamie's mentioned a few of the ones that definitely are full of nonsense and make a lot of noise, so crowned lapwings obviously are one of them. I suppose a drongo can be quite aggressive when it wants to be, when it decides that you know, it's had enough of things like African area hawks and Wahlberg's eagles and the likes. They can be quite full of nonsense. Vultures on a carcass, they're quite aggressive towards one another. I've seen vultures go at each other quite regularly at carcasses, so they can be a bit aggressive. What else? I suppose any bird really when it's... Oh, actually, I've got a crazy story about aggressive birds. So once when I was at Singita, we had in the staff village, we used to see a few of bearded scrub robins. Now we don't see them really much here at all, but you do get them there quite a bit. And there was these bearded scrub robins, and we used to see them most days. And one morning, kind of, there was a bit of a commotion on the ground, and we went to go and sort of look at what was going on. And there were two bearded scrub robins that were sort of attacking each other, is probably a good word. They were, I mean, having obviously a dispute of some sort, and a territorial one at that. And the dispute at first was just kind of, you know, how birds often do fight, as they come and they kind of push their feet together and lots of wing flapping and kind of a lot of noise and carrying on, but not really any physical sort of damage being done. But then it turned very nasty very quickly, and one of the bearded scrub robins got the ascendancy and managed to pin the other one down onto the ground, and from there proceeded to peck a hole through the top of the other one's head and into its brain and killed it, which was pretty traumatic to watch. And subsequent to that, it then killed the white-browed scrub robin and another bearded scrub robin in the same week. So it was pretty insane to watch how aggressive a bird can be. And yes, Emma, it did go dark very quickly, but it's the truth. Is this little scrub robin had an absolute go at this other one, and like I said, literally pecked through the top of its skull, which is, you know, a robin is not designed to be pecking and maiming and those kind of things, so it must have been the most horrific death for that other one, because it would have had to kind of endure a slow pecking process through its head, which was really not very pleasant at all. And so I felt very sorry. In fact, I've actually got photos of it somewhere. I mean, let me try see if I can find them for you. We're going to try and attempt to do this. Now, for you kids that are watching out here, do not do these kind of things if you ever start driving. Do not use your cell phone while driving. I'm going to do it because, well, I'm going to try and show you something, and I'm going very slowly, and there's really no other cars out here except for Jamie, so I can afford to be able to do this a little bit. Of course, Seb, you're going to have to watch for animals, because I'm not going to be able to do that very well, but let's just try. I should have it fairly easily available. Just give me 2 seconds. Birds, there we go. Carol, no, it didn't seem to be protecting a nest. It looked more like it was just a territorial fight between two of them. There didn't seem to be a nest nearby. Maybe there was a female close by, but here we go. Found the photos now. So I think this is the start of it, but they're very old photos, so please excuse the quality of them. It's not the best, but anyway. So there we go. Those are the bearded scrub robins. So you can see it's pinned this one down and is now kind of starting the process. And there it's pecking towards the top of the head. You can see the feathers have been exposed now, and the skull was being exposed. And it then went, I think there's more. There we go. There it is, pecking at the head once again, and this is when this bird started to kind of look in worse shape. Its legs started to kind of go paralyzed as it kind of went in towards the brain. There it's kind of pulling the head up, actually, which was a bit weird. And I think that might be all of them. Oh no, there we go. And that's after it was dead. So this is when it had killed it, and it was actually like pecking at the eyes and around the beak, and unfortunately killed that other bearded scrub robin, which was pretty insane. So that was a kind of series of images. I don't think there's any more than that. No, there isn't. Pretty hectic, isn't it? I mean, it's quite macabre actually to watch that, and it was probably about a 20-minute thing that took place, and to get through the top of its head and actually kill it. And by the time we kind of realized what was actually going on and what it was trying to do, that bird was already in trouble and was starting to show signs of kind of paralysis. So But it was a bit of a hectic one, that. But anyway, like I say, it's part and parcel of nature out here. I suppose, we see it with lions and things like that. You just don't expect it from a sweet little robin that's not so sweet at all, apparently. Bet you didn't see that coming, Emma. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Right. Good. So, I'm going to now send you across to I to see if he's got any stories of killer birds and aggressive birds from his side of the world.
I've moved away from the elephants. I've managed to free myself from all the elephants. Oh, I see something over there. I'll have to reverse a little bit and then take you there. Somebody had requested if we could see some grey-crested cranes, and I think I've spotted 2 of them. Let's get you closer. This is an amazing and a beautiful bird. Sometimes hard to tell between male and female, but let me get you there. We have the toppy also here. Hello, good morning. No, they are not. The grey-crested cranes are not aggressive. They are only very beautiful. I would say one of the most aggressive ones is the pintail wider. A breeding male grows this long tail, and anything around him is a threat, and so he usually chases away even bigger birds. He will attack them. And try and get everything around that area for themselves. So, yeah, I know the pintail wider is one of very aggressive one. I think, sorry, it is another Egyptian geese. False alarm, it happens. You'll have to excuse me. I was driving and I didn't take a very good look at what it was. Over here, I have very, very happy toppies. I think these are males that are checking out females if they're coming into season. At the same time, they're very excited this morning. They're running around. It's like they're doing their morning exercise. Everybody is very, very active around this area. Look at that. This is toppy, an antelope found in very few places in East and Central Africa. I know of the Serengeti in Tanzania and the Mara being one of the few places. Over here, they are in good numbers. They do participate in the annual migration, amounting to around 20 to 30,000 of them. Over here, we do have resident ones that never go to the Serengeti and they stay here. The raising of the head is like you will see when they do that. I'll explain that. Sometimes you see a male, like walking with a raised head. It's a language of love. He's saying, I want you, I love you, without using any words. You'll see that soon. This looks like they're all males. It would be interesting if he does that, because that it means he's very different from the others. You can tell their coats are almost shiny. They are very, very healthy. This is a very fast antelope. Rarely. Mina, you ask me if I ever see lions. Yes, we do have lions on SafariLive. And they are actually our main strong point. And before the end of this show, I might be able to show you some. But very early this morning, I found a good number of them lying very close to the road. I think you hadn't joined us, and so that's why you didn't see them. But we do see lions, and we might be able to show you before the end of the show. because this is the Masai Mara. Anything is possible. I have my colleagues down in Juma, South Africa, who are also looking for them. And yeah, if you stick around, you might get to see them. This is Topi, remember? I told you. Very fast antelope, rarely hunted because of their speed, and their senses are all very good. Look at that, look at that. He's very healthy. He's coming to me to say hello. You see here the grass is much shorter, and so there is a good number of them around here. They love the short grass because they can see distances. That dark markings on the shoulders and the back flanks is normal and natural when they reach the age of around 6 months onwards. When they're young, they're just tawny color, and they look like golden color from the age of about 1 day to around 6 months. Then they start, developing those colors. From a distance, sometimes. I understand somebody's got some beautiful warthogs, so I'm gonna send you down. I'm gonna send you to Jamie, who's got some warthogs, and then I'm gonna try and find the elusive grey-crested cranes.
Just one warthog, unfortunately. I was really hoping that there might be some little baby piggies, because I have not seen a little piglet on Juma yet. And I know that the other guides have. I've just somehow managed to avoid them. But in this case, there's definitely no little baby piggies, because it is a male warthog all on his own. And you can see that pretty clearly from quite a long distance away. Even if you can't count the warts on the face, which of course in the case of males they have 4, in females they have 2, and so on. But in males they protrude so much further away from the edge of their face that as soon as you see that, you know immediately that you are looking at a male warthog, a fully grown male warthog at that. So in this case, unfortunately, no little piggies. Luckily, this is quite a relaxed warthog. I remember when I first started driving around Juma, every single warthog that we saw would shoot off rapidly into the distance. We only ever had very brief sightings of them, and it was usually on the fly if we were live. But they were Tara Dales, who was one of our directors. They were her absolute best. She loved piggies. See if I can... No. Here he comes. Here he goes. Sorry, one last view. If maybe. He just looks so pretty in this grass. Well, I think he looks pretty. I suppose everything's in the eye of the beholder. There, he's gone. Karen! Karen says, what an ugly lawnmower. Oh, yeah, they are a bit ugly. I mean, I think they're sweet. I really do. Particularly the babies, when they go snuffling past our house in Hoedspruit. They're just adorable. There's a group of 8, or there were 8. I don't know how many are left now. There was a group of 8 that used to come snuffling past every single morning. I admit they're probably conventionally not the most attractive animals. But, everything's relative. They're quite sweet in their own way. Their bristly snouts. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Not the prettiest lawnmower. Nor the most effective, actually, as it happens. If you really want... Carol says that it's a face that only a mother can love. Darby, is this going to make your life very difficult? There we go. The most efficient lawnmower, of course, would be a hippopotamus. Also not the most attractive of lawnmowers, but certainly more efficient than a warthog. Oh, Dave, they're all in front of me. I'm an idiot. There's some in the dung. They've all run off now, but there's one in the pile, digging in the pile of dung down below. Look at you go. Oh, goodness. And just like that, I have completely stymied us with our end of the safari. Now, apparently, Karen says that there is a warthog with piglets on the dam cam. And just like that, we have reached the end of our safari. It is entirely my fault. I've sent Dave bouncing all over the show. during our credit section. So that was my fault, not Dave's. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is, of course, wonderful to hear your questions and comments. We will see you again for the Sunset Safari. We look forward to it, but for now, enjoy yourselves wherever you happen to be in the world.